Hello students, welcome to my class once again. Today I have come with a new story for the students of class 12. The title of the story is Should Wizard Hit Mommy by John Updike. Now the title of the story is having a question mark at the end. Okay, why? The reason is this, that the story deals with the theme that do parents always take the right decision for the children on behalf of their children? The decisions that they take, are they always right? So that there lies the question. Okay, that is the theme. So that is why the story, the title is having a question mark at the end. Or you can say that the theme of the story deals with with good parenting. Okay? And the difference between a child's perspective of life and an adult's perspective of life. This is the theme of the story. Good parenting, how a child should be taught right from very young age that the decisions that are taken by parents, most of the time they are the right decisions. It also raises a question, it is this, that should parents impose their decisions on children, or should they allow the children to take their own decisions and do what they prefer to do, what they like to do? Alright. Now, as far as getting a lesson from the story teaches us a lesson that we people, we should never change our personalities for getting accepted by the society. Every individual, we are born with our characteristic traits. We should retain those characteristic traits. We should not think that in order to become more popular, in order to become more accepted among our friends, among family members, we should not do any pretensions. We should not change ourselves. We should avoid pretensions and falsehood. This is the lesson that the story teaches us. Alright. Now the thing is, who is this wizard and who is mommy? Now wizard, you all know, is a magician. So wizard is the magician, and mommy here means mother. Mothers are sometimes lovingly called as mommy. Now here in this story, we are going to read about an animal. Okay? The main characters of the story is a small girl. She is 4 years old, and her father. The father used to tell his daughter stories every Saturday afternoon about a particular animal. The main story would always remain the same, but he would make change in the name of the animal. Okay? And that animal was having some problem every time. The animal used to have some problem. The animal was advised by a wise owl. We all know that owl is known as an wise owl. It's considered to be a very wise animal. So every time, whenever the animal would get a problem, he would go to the wise owl for some suggestions. The owl would suggest him to go to the wizard, and since the wizard was a magician, the wizard used to give him some solutions for his problem, and thus the animal would come out of the problem. This used to be the general line of the story every time. But here we find that one day the father made a twist in the story. He changed the ending of the story. Children generally prefer every story to have a happy ending. Right? Because children are far away from reality. They don't understand the reality. They don't understand that reality is very harsh and everything in life cannot happen as we want it to happen. So one day when the father changed the ending of the story and brought a twist in it, that was not accepted by the daughter. She was a small girl, though she was only 4 years old, still she raised questions because she was becoming matured. Alright? So she raised question, and thus the title has this question mark at the end, should wizard hit mommy? Because the father ended the story in the way that the mother hit the mommy. Sorry, the mother hit the wizard. That was the end of the story the father made. But the daughter wanted the end to be reversed. That it was not the mother who hit the wizard should also hit back the mother. Now there lies this moral question. This is the moral issue, the moral question. Whether what parents do for us, should we accept it every time? Should children always accept the decisions of their parents, or should they raise question against it? That is the moral question that lies in this story, or that has been raised in this story. Okay, so now this was the introduction about the story that I have given you. The story starts with this. Let me introduce the characters of the story first. The small girl who is 4 years old, she is known as Jo, okay, and Joan is her full name. Lovingly she is called Jo by her father, and her father's name is Jack. Her mother's name is Claire. She also has a small brother, okay, her brother's name is Bobby. And these are the 4 characters. Other than these 4 characters, there is a character by the name Roger Skunk. Skunk is an animal like that of a cat, size of a cat. And Roger Skunk's mommy, Roger Skunk's mother, and Wizard and Wise Owl. So these are some of the characters of the story. Now when the story starts, it starts on a Saturday, because every Saturday afternoon Jack used to narrate stories to his daughter Jo. He started this particular thing of narrating a story to his daughter to make her sleep, since the girl was 2 years old, and the system is continuing since 2 years. Now she is no more a 2 years old girl. She has grown up. She has become a grown up child, and she is now 4 years old. So now it's not very easy to satisfy her by saying anything in the story. She used to raise questions, several questions she used to raise when her father would narrate the story to her. Alright, so that day in the afternoon, Jack asked, every time he would tell the same story, the story as I told you, and only he used to change the name of the animal. Okay, so that day Jack asked his daughter which story she wants to listen to, about which animal. So what the daughter replied, the story of which animal her father was going to narrate to her, that we will come to know in the next video.